Hello, hello, and welcome to the Pink Possibilities. My name is Uni Lopez, and I am here every week with a special guest that shares their amazing Mary Kay journey with us. All of the stories that you hear tonight and every time that we come together are 100% true. And tonight we have an amazing guest by the name of Bami Olusa. Here's a little bit about Bami. In Mary Kay for 16 years. She's a mother, a wife, a registered nurse, and a leader. She has earned 12 cars in Mary Kay, including 6 pink Cadillacs, 13 unit clubs. Her highest unit retail sales was $742,000. She did triple star 4 times, double star 1 time. Her highest monthly check was $16,000. Bami is fulfilled the purposes of God in her generation. She stands on Acts 13:36, and we live on the principle of God first, family second, and career third. Without further ado, let me introduce you to my friend, the amazing Bami Olusa.
Oh my gosh, Uni, I'm so excited, so grateful that you have introduced me and invited me to share my story here. What an honor. Truly, my life verse is that I will fulfill the purposes of God in this generation. And that's from Acts 13:36. So welcome to everyone on whatever, in whichever world we are, in the YouTube world, Facebook world. Hello. And I pray today that something that I share would be a blessing to you, and that God would make my tongue of that of a ready writer, and that he would speak through me. And I'm praying also that I decrease and that he would increase. And because it's not what I do that matters, it's what I allow him to do through me, and that's what counts for eternity. So thank you. I appreciate the love. Of course, me getting to share my story. So before I get started, I'm going to share my affirmation and then just share a little bit about my story. Thank you for everyone that's here that I can see on the screen. I know you're not here by accident, and this story might be for you or for someone that you know. So please be encouraged, and just relax. I'm going to relax myself so that we just can talk. I don't need to put up a front. I don't need to act. I'm sharing the truth that I have lived in this Mary Kay journey. So my affirmation, well, ever progressing in Christ, fixed on Christ's unlimited supply, knowing I'm surrounded by his grace, his mercy, and by all that I'm called to produce. I'm connecting with independent, ambitious, audacious, winning warrior women. 1 week red, 1 month normal, first line, second line, third line, Cadillac from the east, west, north, and south. When they ask me what my 23 story is, it'll be the best of me, 2023, as I debut as a national sales director, and my name is Bami Olusa. Thank you. All right. So I started my journey 16 years ago, 16 and a half years ago. I'm a registered nurse by profession, mother, as she said, wife of my wonderful husband for 28 years. We have been married and been together about 30 something, 32 years. Prior to 4 years we dated and went back and forth. And I'm blessed to have 3 beautiful children. My oldest is 26. She's a graduate of LIU, Long Island University here in New York. My second child is my son, my only son, my one and only son. If you're my Facebook friend, everybody knows my boo-boo. He is 24, and he is a student at the Bridges program at SUNY Orange College, and I'm going to go back to Busayer in a little bit. And then my baby Yimi, she is a student, a sophomore in Lynchburg at Liberty University. So that's me and my I don't call us a little family. I call us the royal family, right? The Bible says we're a royal priesthood, a holy nation, and really of truth. Actually, my husband is royalty from back home in Nigeria. So we are both ways royalty. So how did I come to join Mary Kay? It was a night like this that I rushed to work. I worked as a labor and delivery nurse. I did every kind of nursing you could think of, from surgical to oncology to the ER. And then I was looking for a place where I could fit, but God knew I wasn't meant to be in that capacity. I guess a nurse. I went from telemetry and this and that. Maybe I'll fit. But my last few years I spent as a labor and delivery nurse, and that's where I met my recruiter. It was a night like this, very nothing special about the night. I walked past a lady who actually was my Mary Kay angel, and little did I know that she was going to change my life. I didn't know her from Adam. She actually was from Ghana, and I am from Nigeria, and we became fast friends on the floor. You know, when you work as an agency nurse, right, you look to make friends really quickly so that they can put you through, because the agency nurse gets no orientation, so you figure things out on the fly. Okay, so we met, and she was selling Mary Kay. I thought that was pretty interesting. Now, before Mary Kay, I was very, very judgmental and very snooty. You couldn't tell me nothing. I was a miserable money-making nurse. When I say that really miserable. I made good money, make $50 an hour. You couldn't tell me nothing, but I was miserable because I didn't sleep well. I worked all night, so I was cranky all day, and I did the same cycle over and over again. How many people can relate, right? I didn't know any better. I just felt like that was the way life was supposed to go. But anyway, God has a sense of humor. Anyway, I didn't give her the time of day. So let me stop that story there and tell you what my home life was. Well, 17, 18 years prior, my son was officially diagnosed with autism. And he was a hyperactive, non-verbal, non-stop kid. Non-stop. It was hard for us to leave him with help at home because they didn't know how to handle him, because he didn't say anything. He would sneak outside, not dressed, that kind of crazy. It was crazy. Okay. We didn't know what to do with autism, but I knew I had to do something, because he was just not just a handful. He was, it broke my heart. And I found that I didn't get the kind of support in nursing that I thought that I would get with that kind of diagnosis, and that nobody knew what to do. So I can't be mad at them. They didn't know how to help me. But I knew within me that I had to do something fast, otherwise I had to pick either my family or I had to pick my son. I didn't know, there was no way at that time that I could blend both. So I was searching for something. And I remember going to work at night and just being on the way to work, like, God, there's got to be another way to make money in this country. There has got to be another way. Why should I leave my family, leave my son, and be on the job for 12 hours, wondering what's going on at home? Would I even come home to find my son? That kind of back and forth. There has got to be so that was my prayer. But you know how sometimes you pray and I wasn't actively seeking, okay, what is it that I'm going to do? But I just knew there had to be another way to make money in the United States of America. Okay. So that was going on because of the strain of the diagnosis and what it took to take care of him. My marriage was struggling because we were blaming each other. Maybe it was your fault. Maybe it was, when you have a bombshell thrown on you, it just puts you into a state of confusion. right? So I was searching, looking like, what is it that I can do? My marriage was not right, right? We were not at peace. I was tired all the time. In fact, I had gotten myself to the place because when I would get home, I would have to mind my son sometimes. So I would come home, do what I had to do, take Tylenol PM, and try to get 2 or 3 hours of sleep, like force myself to sleep, and then wake up and go back to work. I mean, can you imagine that kind of life? So I felt like a zombie. I was never properly rested. I would want to sleep, and the neighbors would be mowing their lawn, and the bright sunlight. I was always mad at something. You can just imagine that was my state, a state of utter confusion. I was just like a zombie. So one night, by divine design, before Mary Kay, I was a reader. I've always been a reader my whole life. So I usually would, just in case, the neighborhood, when you work labor and delivery, the neighborhood, they all deliver the same day. So we had days there was nothing, but it had to be staffed in case somebody came in labor, or we had days that you walked on that floor and every observation room was full and jamming, and there was a delivery here and there. Okay, so I forgot my book at home, and I got to work. Guess what God had for me to read that night? Woo, that Mary Kay lady was on the job. And I was like, so I walked on the floor, nothing was going on, but it still has to be stopped just in case we get the walk-ins or the emergencies and all of that. So the Mary Kay lady was on the job. Her name is Hilda Apia Dankwa. At first, I went to the room, I got into my bag. Where is my stuff? Oh, I'm rushing. Of course, I had an hour commute. So, you got to get out at a certain time, beat that. I would be in the going home traffic, end of day traffic, and I left everything at home. Anyway, so she had all her Mary Kay paraphernalia all over the table, all over the table. And just out of boredom, I picked up the lookbook and I took a look like, let me just buy, maybe I should buy maybe $50 and just get something from her so she can just not talk to me about Mary Kay tonight. But anyway, out of boredom, because guess what? I'm a reader. She had the Miracle Happens book on the job. And I picked it up. I went into the room. And when I came out of that room, I was asking her every kind of question, blah, blah, blah. And I remember calling my husband from work like, guess what? I have found my way out of nothing. I'm going to do this Mary Kay thing, right? And my husband said, are you okay? Do you know how much money that you make on that job? You're gonna do what, Mary or Kate? You are got to be out of your mind. I got home like, wow, I am so excited, and I saw this, and the philosophy of the business is God first, family second, career third. I picked up the Applause magazine, and I saw women making 40, 50, 60, $70,000 a month, and I know I'm not gonna do that over 1 month, and I know I'm not gonna do that maybe in 1 year or even 10 years. But the fact that I can do that, oh my gosh, I got to give it a try. And that's how I got my husband. My husband said, you know what? I give you my blessing, because when you make up your mind and say you're going to do something, I know you're going to do it. So the next time I got to work, she signed me up, right? I got to work. I was still so excited. She signed me up, and it was a busy night. And by the end of the day, it kind of got a little slow. And you know how when you haven't slept well, right? They say someone who doesn't sleep well is like in a drunken state. As I was leaving after I signed up that morning, I went back to her. I said, I think I made a mistake. In fact, you know what? I can't do this because I got buyer's remorse. So I said, you know what? Can you cancel me? Because there's no way. I don't have the time. I don't know what I was thinking and blah, blah, blah. Anyway, she said to me, Bami, relax. You got this. All you have to do is book, sell, coach, recruit. And I was leaving, and I remember the whole hour coming home. Book, sell, coach, recruit. What's that? Who's gonna teach me? Who's even gonna? So, anyway, I joined, and that's the that was the end of that. So got home and I had to come work it out. I actually found my adopted senior director, Audrey Dollar. She's a dear church sister and friend of mine now. And I started going to the meetings, and the rest is history. And hence those accolades that you have heard. And I within 6 months I had proven enough, I had practiced enough to know that if I didn't have my nursing job, my kids will never go hungry. I know how to sell this product. And I had even in those 6 months, I had thought of quitting once or twice. And I learned to be consistent in my business by making sure every day I had a booking. I was sharing my affirmation with myself so that I believed it, and sharing it with everybody else that would listen to me. And and just chose to be accountable to my director. And like they say, the rest is history. And that's how I came to be in Mary Kay. And it's been an amazing journey of self-discovery, of the greatest gifts. I want to tell you, the gifts within me that I did not know existed are the greatest gifts that it's given me. Plus, leaning on the Lord more. It's a journey of faith, getting to know God. Trust me, oh my God. Faith is the evidence, right, of things not seen. Just trusting that, knowing in every given day that He'll provide and He will guide my steps. And so it's been a journey of faith for me also, and a journey of learning to love people where they are, and loving myself also. I grew up never having a lot of friends. I do have a very strong personality on the personality disc. I am a D, a very high D. So I think different. I stand out. I've never been someone, you can't put me in a box. I've been able to, always stand out in whatever I did. And sometimes I have been attacked for being who I am, but I have grown into loving myself, taking care of myself better. And guess what? If you're not talking yourself down, and if you're not taking yourself out of the game, because there's an inner game that goes on with the business. If you learn how to talk to yourself, if you learn how to encourage yourself, if you learn how to cheer yourself on, guess what? You can get anywhere in this business. This business is 96% attitude driven. Your attitude determines your altitude. So I want to encourage each and every single one of you ladies here. Mary Kay does not make us anything. We come to Mary Kay with who we are, and then we work out whatever systems are in Mary Kay, learn to book, learn to coach, learn. But before Mary Kay, you are still fearfully and wonderfully made. Before Mary Kay, you are more than a conqueror. Before Mary Kay, you are the head, not the tail. Before Mary Kay, you are all those things that God said you are. So coming into Mary Kay just heightens that. It lights up everything that you are, if you allow yourself to go through the process. Have I ever thought of quitting? Oh, yes. Yes, many times. Yes, yes, yes. I'm not standing here confidently saying, oh, no. But when I look at my life and I look at the women who have said yes how could I quit on them? How could I quit on them? So I get myself in a I get myself with God, like, God, you gotta fix me, you gotta help me, you gotta show me how. I don't know how, I don't know where to go, I don't know how. And he does something. God has been unusually kind to me. He has marvelously always helped me. He has always, I'm thinking how, I don't know even how we made it through that pandemic. And over the past couple of years, I've had loss. My mom, especially, is the coldest. That was the coldest loss and it was so unexpected. And I look back at the past 6 years, and in my foggy memory, I'm thinking, it's you, Lord, that has carried me through this time where I wasn't alive to what I was doing. And I still, I have the fastest growing area in all of Mary Kay. That's what I speak. I'm speaking and I'm seeing what I'm saying. And it's got to be, guys, you've just got to hold on to who you know you are in him, and hold on to God. And know that he who began the good work in you is faithful to complete it. So if you're a new consultant or a guest, maybe listening into this call, honestly, it's not just Mary Kay. Mary Kay is a vehicle. It's a vehicle that our founder put together 60 years ago. We are celebrating 60 years of this amazing opportunity. And it's a vehicle where you can come in and do amazing things and be amazing that you are, and have amazing everything that's available to you. So if you by any chance are considering, or somebody's been talking to you, you owe it to yourself to just give this a shot. What if I want to say, I've been home now with my son for the past, he's graduating high school. No, he graduated high school in 2020. He's graduating college this May. And the doctors told me that, autism is a state of, being alive but dead, or being dead and not being alive. They told me all kinds of stuff, but whose report are you going to believe? God had purpose to create him and gave him to me. That means I can handle it. And when it gets heavy in me, I turn to God and say, God, you got to strengthen me. There's nowhere to turn. There's no one that can help. But guess what? The word of God says, vain is the help of man. So guess what? You put aside what man says and you go to him, and he will strengthen you. So I want to just encourage you, new people, if you are considering prospects, guests, friends, family, if you have ever thought of having something of your own, for $30, you can try this Mary Kay business, and just try it for a year. I always tell people, you got to give it at least a year of being connected, not a year and do nothing. No, that's not, but a year of, you will learn skills that would help you in whatever else you decide to do, or you might just fall in love. We can't guarantee that you're going to love it as much as we have. I love it, is why I've stayed for 17 years, almost 17 years. In May, I'll be exactly 17 years. May 4th, 2006 was my beginning date. So I just want to encourage you, God first, family second, career third, money unlimited, no caps, money, right? Recognition like nothing else. You have not, I love our Applause magazine that's called Applause, right? And then I love that you have a director, you have a cheerleader. That's what we are as directors. We are servant leaders, and we are cheerleaders for our people. And then self-confidence, personal growth. I'm much nicer because I'm in Mary Kay. I am much nicer. I've softened up life. At this level of leadership, there's so many experiences that you go through. You just realize that, you know what? It's all good. Trust me, leadership is where the fruits of the spirit must be manifest. Otherwise, you will never survive. Right? And then the cars, 12 cars that I haven't had to pay for, and they pay 80% of our car insurance people. And then the opportunity to advance. I'm an achiever by nature. God gave me that nature. So I have been able to continue to achieve and achieve. And even when I have said or had the impression that I was maybe feeling stuck or something like that, I stayed. And guess what? That's achievement, sticking to it. Because how many people start something and never finish? And then lastly, being my own boss. What a privilege. What an honor. I don't have to have someone wake me out the bed. I don't have to have someone plug it, telling me to punch in, punch out. No disrespect for people who still have to do that. But I love the fact that I've been able to self-regulate because it was always in me. And Mary Kay gave me the gift that I could be my own boss, and God has been faithful. Over $1 million have been earned in my Mary Kay short career, because guess what? The best is still yet to come. And you need to just give it a shot, try it for yourself. In this climate, guys, Forbes magazine said, I think it was last year, women, especially in this time of inflation, it's taking each individual an extra $5,000 to live the lifestyle we lived pre-pandemic. Have you seen the cost of bacon? Okay, and there's been that egg joke. It is not a joke. If you want organic, good eggs, you're going to pay $10 for 12 of them now. It's crazy. So if it's taking you that much, is your job, has your job risen to that? No, that's actually the truth. Most jobs are cutting back, cutting everything. And guess what? Being able to have access to products to keep you younger, longer, and have this opportunity that you can work at your own pace. It's a priceless gift. So I'm going to encourage you to give this business a shot. Give yourself a fighting chance to survive what's out there. You know what the enemy meant for evil, God always turns it around for good. And God has that woman in your path for a reason. So I hope and I pray that you say yes. Yes to success. Yes to opportunity. Yes to personal growth. And yes to God first, family second, and career third. And I'm done, Uni.
Wow, Bami, you are amazing. I don't think you even know how amazing you are to me. It was your story that I heard during the pandemic
Wow.
that allowed me to not only submit for directorship, but to complete directorship in just 1 month.
Wow.
As a registered nurse, you mentioned earlier that you made so much money. I used to be a staffing coordinator. Nurses get
Oh, wow.
paid money an
Yes.
hour, but you can only work so many hours because, there was only so much. But your highest check in 1 month
Mhm,
was $16,000.
mhm,
I'm pretty sure the registered nurses weren't making that, and still to
No.
this day are not. So,
Mhm.
Bambi, you are such an inspiration. You have been to me. You still are to the women that we are going to touch for years to come because of technology. So we're going to say goodbye to the YouTube. But if someone invited you to this YouTube to watch and Bami's story touched you, please comment below. We're going to stay on with the guest that joined us tonight. And if you want to ask Bami some personal questions, even on the YouTube, if you watch the YouTube and you have some personal questions for Bami, please comment below and I'll make sure that she gets back to you. And if this is something for you, by all means, comment below. It's for me. And we will get back to you and get back to you with some amazing information. So until then, thank you, Bami. Don't go anywhere, guys. But thank you from the bottom of my heart for joining me tonight. Next week, we're going to have Kat Van Dusen be our guest in the Pink Possibilities in episode 5. And I want you to remember, whether you're looking for freedom, flexibility, or fun, always remember that when it comes to Mary Kay, the pink possibilities are endless. God bless you guys. Have a wonderful night. Tune in next week at 8:30 on Tuesday. Bye-bye.